Good morning, and welcome to another Writer's Morning Commute with Ashton Gaskill. Today is our final discussion about the 9 points and 8/8 outlining method, at least for the individual points and eighths. I might do a wrap-up video, we'll see. Today we'll be discussing both the 8th as well as the 9th point. The 8/8 is all about resolution and showing how the character has changed. It comes right off the heels of the climax, which is where the character fully embraces whatever it is that they need to embrace to change and become a more fully realized person, or they fully reject whatever it is they need and lose all hope of becoming that. They lose all hope of becoming their fullest self. All of the main drama should be resolved with the climax. So the point of the 8/8 is twofold. On one hand, what you're wanting to do is wrap up any dramatic threads that are still dangling in your story. Side plots with other characters, if they've had disagreements with them, or any sort of other lingering issues to resolve, should all get wrapped up and addressed here. This is not the place for, I don't want to say very dramatic situations, because you can have very heartfelt conversations here. You can have a lot of emotion here and emotional gut punches, but it's gonna feel weird to come off the climax and have something that feels as important. So I guess what you need to keep in mind is, what is this main storyline? And don't treat things that are less important as if they're more important. But at the same time, perhaps, the climax is the more exciting moment, but this is actually a more personally important moment, if that makes sense. So you want to show those plot threads getting wrapped up. You also want to take advantage of this opportunity as your one opportunity, really, to really show your audience the difference in your character. Compare them to the first 8th, the opening of your book. Compare them to the middle of your book, when they were in a relative place of safety in the 5th, 8th, or when they were floundering in, the 3rd and 4th 8ths. They've gone through a lot to get here. So this is your opportunity to really show how they've changed in their abilities, how they've changed personality-wise. You can show them living out the lessons that they've learned. And you're going to do all that showing in those wrapping up of plot threads. Becoming a fully self-actualized person is going to allow them to clean up those remaining interpersonal situations. Alternatively, failing to self-actualize will result in those threads being wrapped up one way or the other, but addressed regardless. Once all that is done, you come to the 9th point. The final resolution, your final image. This kind of is a bit of a esoteric idea, whether it's your last chapter, your last paragraph, your final dialogue, everything that you could say is the last. Like the last chapter, the last paragraph, the last thing that anyone says, the last words. All of that kind of comes together to form your final image. And you should really think about what emotional note you want to leave your readers on, as well as how you can make this reflect the characteristic opening of the first point. How can you make everything kind of come full circle? How can you reference the beginning and really reinforce the thematic change your character has undergone during this process? So I hope those questions help you to really land that perfect ending. I hope you've enjoyed the series. Thank you for writing with me. I hope you all have a great day.